Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I just thought I'd make this video because, as you guys all know, patch 1.12 or patch 1.2, I think, I'm not exactly sure what number it is, but a huge patch has just been released for StarCraft 2, and there's been a lot of changes to the races and the balance as well. And so I thought I'd go ahead and make this video. The patch was just released a couple of hours ago, and this custom game I found on the list called Unit Testers something something. I figured this would be a great little video that I can show while I talk about the patch notes. Now, I have it up on another screen. It's right above me, so I have to crane my neck up and break my neck each time. I gotta look up and down because my other monitor is like on the ceiling. Don't ask me why. It's a weird setup. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the changes to the races, and I'm so excited because this is such a huge patch change. So pay attention, guys. There's a lot of different changes, namely Zerg got buffed, but we'll start with Protoss, Terran, and then work our way down to Zerg. With the Protoss, the Nexus Life and Shields, they've been increased from 750 to 1k a piece, so you guys can see about 500 more health added to the Nexus. In general, they're actually buffing a lot of the buildings' HP. I think they kind of realize some of the buildings just don't have enough health, and units like Marauders can really take that down really easily. So I am in agreement with that, because sometimes buildings just die too easily and then you're like crap out of luck. But here's a huge change, the Void Ray, and let's see if there's a build time. No, the unit comes right out. Awesome. The Void Ray has had a huge damage change. In terms of base damage, it used to do +5, it used to do 5 + 4 armored. Now it does 6 + 4 armored. So it's actually gotten I actually think that it used to do 5 + 5 armored, and now it basically has a little bit more base damage to infantry units. So not bad there. A nice little buff for the Void Ray to help it deal with Marines at level 1. But in terms of the level 2 charge, when the Void Ray really starts to charge up, there's been a huge damage change. In fact, it's been a huge decrease. It used to do 10 + 15 armored, so it used to do 25 damage. But now that's been lowered to 8 + 8, so it only does 16 now. A huge nerf for the Void Ray in terms of the charge damage, but I gotta say, Void Rays before were quite powerful, and a proxy Stargate bringing in a Void Ray into your base, if you were not prepared for it, if you did not have the right units, or you didn't scout, then you're pretty much screwed if the Void Ray had a full charge, and it wasn't too hard to charge up a Void Ray fully. So I think that nerf kind of brings the Void Ray in line, and in fact, if you guys ever played Nexus Wars, I'm sure you guys know how powerful the Void Ray was when it was fully charged. So I think that was a change that for the better. I think that'll make the Void Ray less of a cheesy unit and more of a unit that requires skill. What else has been changed? Looks like the Flux Veins speed upgrade has been changed a little bit, which if we go down to the fleet beacon right here, there's the Flux Veins, I can't ever remember the name. The speed upgrade bonus has been decreased from 1.125 to 0.703, which pretty much means once you get that speed upgrade, the Void Ray doesn't really move as fast as it used to. So a small additional nerf to the Void Ray. Man, they're really cracking down hard on the Protoss air, at least. I guess they don't like the Protoss air units. But basically a nerf to the Void Ray, kind of a buff to the Nexus, but that's pretty much it for Protoss. Now let's go on and move down to the dirty roughneck Terrans, and let's see what the first change is. Craning my neck up. The barracks requirement has been changed. It no longer requires, it used to just basically you could build it whenever you wanted. Now it requires a supply depot before you can construct it. What do I think about that? Well, it definitely changes some of the dynamics of opening Terran play. You can't really do 9 racks, 10 racks Reapers, or 9 racks, not Reapers, but 9 racks, 10 racks Marines. You just can't throw down a barracks before supply depot now. And it kind of makes it similar to Protoss, because you can't really throw down a gateway until you have a pylon. You need the pylon power. So I guess in terms of that, it brings it in line with Protoss, but I really feel like this changes the core of Terran play. Terrans are supposed to be adaptable. They're not supposed to require these, weird, pylon powering and stuff like that. They're supposed to be able to build anywhere, anytime. And they kind of changed that. Now you require a supply depot, which means you can't really cheese as Terran anymore. You have to pretty much play standard day in and day out. So I don't know if I exactly agree with that change, but it's been changed. Supply depot life has also been increased from 350 to 400, so if we look at the measly supply depot, nice little buff there. Makes it a little bit harder to Baneling bust the Terran wall. But going back to the barracks change, I think the reason why they changed the barracks timing was to doubly nerf the Reaper. And here's the next nerf coming up right now. The Reaper, the Nitro Packs upgrade has now been required. It now requires a factory, so you cannot upgrade Nitro Packs unless you have a factory out. So this pretty much means say goodbye to 5-Rack Reaper, say goodbye to 3-Rack Reaper, and I'm actually a little bit in favor of that. If you ever play against Terran and a bunch of Reapers come steamrolling into your base, it can be quite difficult to deal with, but I think the nerf might have been a little bit too much. Maybe make the Nitro Packs more expensive. I don't know about making them require a factory, because I don't know if we'll ever see Reapers used ever again, especially with that barracks nerf requiring a supply depot. So that's that. There's also the Medivac acceleration reduced from 2.3 to 2.25, so a slight little decrease in the Medivac's acceleration, and wow, that thing looks a little bit slower as well. I think there was another change. Let's see, the Medivac speed has been reduced from 2.75 to 2.5. My neck is killing me now. So wow, Medivacs really got slowed down. I think this makes this serves two different purposes. A, it's going to make dropping a lot easier to stop, dropping Marines into the enemy base. And B, it's going to require a little bit more micro to control your dropships with your bio army when you move out, because now the dropships are probably going to lag behind a little bit with that speed decrease. So I think they might be forcing a little bit more micro out of Terran units, or out of Terran players in general. And what is that constant, incessant clicking noise? I'm going to have to set myself to busy, because that guy, Kadabra, is constantly coming online. And he still is. I don't know why he's doing that. It looks like there's a couple more changes. The Thor, the energy bar, has been removed. So let's go ahead and make a Thor. Man, that's fast. And as you guys can see, it no longer requires energy to use this ability. In fact, it just has a cooldown of 50 seconds. And all you need to do is research this upgrade. And then you can use it every 50 seconds. So let's go ahead and make a unit to use it on. And we're going to go ahead and strike cannon the Marine just for fun. Bam! That's a little bit imbo right there. But yeah, I think that's cool, because we weren't really seeing Thors use that special ability all that much. So I think players are actually going to upgrade that now more often. So good little changes here and there. And oh yeah, the energy bar, of course, being removed. Now let's go ahead and move down to our squishy scrawler, time-crawling, bug-wrenching Zerg. I'm horrible by my analogies and descriptions, I know. But let's talk a little bit about the Zerg race here. A lot of different changes. The hatchery's life has actually, this is unfortunately a hive, so I'm going to have to build a hatchery for you guys to see, has actually been increased from 1,250 to 1,500, once again in line with the Nexus upgrade. Of course, Blizzard trying to make buildings a little bit more difficult to snipe, so I do agree with that. And if we go ahead and upgrade this to a layer, it has also been upgraded from 1,800 life. Oh god, it's going to take forever. Well, you guys will have to take my word for it. It's been upgraded from 1,800 life to 2,000 life. So buildings all around getting a little nice boost for Zerg, especially these core headquarter buildings. Not the Hive, however. Hive already had a ton of HP, didn't really need any more. And yes, I know I'm rushing through this right now. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, because I have to go celebrate my my brother's birthday is today, so I have a time limit to finish this video by. So let's move on. Spawning pool life has been increased from 750 to 1,000. Once again, more upgrades. Ultralisk Cavern also been increased from 600 to 850. And what else? The Spire has been increased from 600 to 850 as well. So if we go ahead and build a Spire, there you guys see Spire, another upgrade. This is actually really huge, because all too often as Zerg, your Spire would get sniped out, and that was really bad. It was too weak, I felt like, and I like this upgrade, this little boost in health. Maybe even make it 1,000 life would be kind of nice. And there's the layer, 2,000 HP. So if we go ahead and move down, we can see that corruption ability has now been made into, let's see, where's that corruptor? There it is. So the corruptor now also has a cooldown base and no longer requires energy, similar to the Thor, but the corruption now has a cooldown time right when it spawns. So I don't know why they did this. Why not make it the same as the Thor? But I guess they didn't want corruptors popping right away out of your base and using corruption. But yeah, now it doesn't require energy, and it's actually on a cooldown time. And let's see what else is on the list of changes for patch 1.12 or patch 1.12. The Infestor, the fungal growth, now prevents blink. So that's a little creative spell, and I don't know if I can actually get a Stalker out here. Can we get a Stalker out? Can we get a Stalker out? There's a Stalker. So unfortunately he doesn't have Blink researched yet, so we have to go ahead and research that at the Cybernetics. No, not the Cybernetics, the Twilight Council. Not a Protoss player, but there's the Blink. And of course before you could Blink, but now apparently you can use Fungal Growth to prevent the Blink ability, which I think is pretty cool. Adds a little bit more micro. I think a lot of times Zerg players had difficulty dealing with Blink Stalkers, so I think this will make it a little bit easier if you have that Infestor tech ready. So let's go ahead and try Fungal Growth, and if we try, well, that didn't work. Well, maybe it's a bug. I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. I'm pretty sure I hit the guy with Fungal Growth. But if it is a bug, I'm sure Blizzard will release a patch to patch the patch right away. So I don't know what's that about. But the last change for Zerg, I really want to talk about this, is the Roach increased in range. It no longer require. Wow, that's a lot of roaches. It no longer is 3. It is now 4. And that is absolutely huge. That is such a big change for Zerg. Just watch this right here. We'll go ahead and try to hit the Stalker. Wow, that looks a lot longer. Before, they would have to be like this close. Now they stand like back here. So that is a huge change. Why is that a huge change? Well, let me go ahead and show you guys. I'm sure all you guys know about the Protoss Fast Expand, where you get obviously Forge Gate at the front of your door. But before, Zerg really didn't have a way to deal with that except for Baneling busting or a fast Hydra attack. Now though, if Protoss tries to go for a Forge Fast Expand, let's go ahead and build a Gateway and a Forge, similar to how Protoss would Fast Expand. They'll get a couple cannons behind the wall, like so. Maybe a second Gateway or something like that. Oh no, I got my probe stuck. Let's go ahead and make another probe. And they'll have another Gateway maybe, and of course their Nexus will be, you know, somewhere back here or something. So this is what the typical Protoss Forge Fast Expand might look like, but now roaches can actually range against the photon cannon. So if we go to attack, or not, yeah, they can actually, wow, they can range against the photon cannons. No, actually that's because the cannons are not attacking the roaches. Durr, I was a little silly there, but not range against the photon cannons, but now roaches can actually range against the buildings. I don't know why I said they can range against the cannons. The cannons have like 7 range, so that's not going to happen. But the roaches can actually hit buildings, and the cannon cannot hit back against the roaches. Maybe it can hit the one in the front, but I don't think it can hit the ones in the back. Let's see if that works right here. Let's just go ahead and attack with one just to make my point clear. There's one roach attacking the gateway, and let's see if the cannon can reach it. No, it cannot reach the roach. So that right there is the huge change that I want to talk about with the roach upgrade. It will make roaches so much more usable against Protoss, maybe even against Terran. But not just that, it's actually going to make roaches, it's actually going to make it so Protoss can no longer fast expand against Zerg. It just isn't going to work because all Zerg has to do is throw down a Roach Warren, pump out 5 or 6 roaches, and then even if you have cannons behind your wall, well, it's just not going to work because the cannons no longer reach the Zerg units. Well, that time it is. I don't know why. Well, I don't know. You guys saw the earlier example. It didn't reach the roaches. Don't prove me wrong, unit builder tester. So that's a big change right there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to stay tuned for more. I'm going to have some commentaries coming in the near future. But I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, or not tutorial, but a patch overview, and thought I'd do a little bit of a video to talk about the actual patch changes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video, and stay tuned for more to come.